Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People's Show. Check the post for Husker Nation. Brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a final look back, a final breakdown of the Iowa versus Nebraska Black Friday football game. Now, right off the top, the first thing that I would say, because I sense myself doing it too, which each loss, it becomes harder and harder to be invested. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, each and every Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, if they create a new day of the week and play Nebraska football on that day, no matter what happens, I'm going to be in front of the freaking TV screen and I'm going to be watching. Okay, so I would encourage Husker fans to keep that passion, keep that intensity and that excitement, like I've always said, with respect. I know it's challenging right now. I'm fully well aware of that. But be in front of that TV screen, and if, for the love of all that's holy, if we're ever going to go back and actually watch the Huskers in person, if we ever get to do that and have that opportunity to do it again, which we will at some point, make sure you're there. Never, ever lose that passion. Just keep the respect as well. Now, this Nebraska football team, we're going to dive into the game itself a little bit, and this show's probably going to be a little longer than normal, to be honest with you. I hope that's okay. All right, it reminds me of a strand of Christmas lights, okay? Now, maybe you put them on your roof. Maybe you don't. Maybe you hang them all over the place. Maybe you don't. You put them on your Christmas tree. Maybe you hang them on trees outside. Maybe you don't. But you got these strands of Christmas lights. Some of them, have 100 bulbs. Some of them got all the way up to like 10,000 if you're doing these really crazy fancy ones. Okay? But we all know that if one bulb is out, the whole damn thing doesn't work. Right now, this Nebraska football team feels like that. Okay? Because we don't know if it's one bulb. We don't know if it's 10 bulbs that ain't working right. We don't know if it's 250 bulbs that ain't working right. We don't even know if the damn thing's plugged in. Okay, is it plugged? Do we even have a chance? Yeah, we have a chance. I believe we got a chance. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's like you feel like at times you see progress and we're getting close, and maybe if we can just find that one bulb, the whole damn thing will turn on. Okay? All right. Sometimes you feel like after the Illinois game, like there's about 250,000 bulbs that ain't working and a 10,000 bulb strand or a 100 bulb strand. That's kind of what it feels like to me right now. Okay? Because you don't know exactly where we're at, how far, because some things looked better, some things did not. We were right there, had a chance to win again for a third straight year with Iowa. Again, we almost seemingly found a way to not win the game, so to speak. You look at the game itself. And there are some positives. We're going to talk about the positives, okay? We're going to talk about the negatives, and I'll give my final takeaway at the end of the show. There are some positives. You look at this statistical battle, nothing's really that impressive to you, okay? From either team, to be honest with you. I had a bunch of Iowa fans hit me up afterwards. They were not happy. They were not thrilled with the game itself. I'm like, well, at least you won. You won. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. But that's not how they saw it, okay? They weren't happy with their team's performance, and some of that has to be in part due to our defense, at least, when it comes to their offense. So some of these stats we have the advantage in. They're not going to blow you away, but here are some of them, okay? And keep in mind, this is an Iowa team. While they haven't played impressive opponents the past 3 weeks, they'd won those 3 games by an average margin of 30 points per game, so they'd been rolling a little bit. We won the battle of the third down conversion rate, okay? We were only 33% on offense. Not great. Iowa was 29%. Converting on third downs offensively for themselves. Nebraska coming in was giving up a third down conversion rate of 54%. That's not good. So that's a jump and a marked improvement. Now, I don't think Iowa's quarterback played that great, but nonetheless, some of that's got to be due to the black shirts, at least in part, a little bit. Total yards, we had more total yards. We had more passing yards. 2 more passing yards. So again, it's not going to blow you away, but 2. Okay. We completed 84% of our passes. That's a really good completion rate, and that is by far the best we've had in quite a while. We had 7.8 yards per pass, not phenomenal. Iowa only had 6.4, okay? We actually outrushed Iowa. Now again, not by a ton. We outrushed them by 14 yards. But if you go back to 3 previous years, leading up to this year, Iowa had outrushed Nebraska by an average of 138 yards per game. Wow, okay? Over the past 3 years, Iowa had averaged 6.7 yards per carry, 5.9, and 7.3 each game of the past 3 years. That's an average of 6.6 yards per carry over the past 3 games 3 times we played Iowa. Every time they ran the frickin' ball, they were 2/3 of the way to a first down. Okay? On Friday, we averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Not great. Iowa, 2.9. That's actually pretty good. There are some positives to take away from this, okay? The negatives. Okay, there's negatives. I know I'm going to shock you with that. Start with the special teams. Okay, we had a muff punt, led to Iowa points. We allowed a 31-yard punt return, led to Iowa points. Okay, we did not cross the 25-yard line on either one of our 2 attempted kickoff returns, and all but one of Iowa's drives started beyond their 30-yard line, and four Iowa drives started beyond their 40-yard line. Special teams are not so special, okay? Not at the moment, anyways. Now you talk about the snaps. There was 5 bad snaps during the game, and I know Scott Frost believed that Cam Jurgens' snap issues in the first half were caused by Iowa coaches clapping on the sideline. All right, Kirk Ferentz called this issue stupid. He said they were cheering on his players. What are we supposed to treat this like golf? You know, my take on this, I'm not some snapping expert or guru. I've never thought that snapping a football on time, accurately, and then blocking 300-pound men would be an easy thing to do. Yet at the same time, I've never seen a non-middle school team struggle so much with this. And obviously, we are much better than a middle school team, okay? But to me, it's one of those things where if you depend on clapping, and I know Ohio State does, I know a lot of other schools does it, it's got to be something you can do in a loud, noisy stadium. Typically, there's like 90,000+ fans at a Husker game. But then I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe since it's quiet and coaches are clapping, maybe that clap carries more and maybe that's more. I don't know. I'm not some clapping expert. I'm not saying it's an easy job to do. I just don't understand why this is such a struggle when I've literally never seen it like this before. Okay? We lost the penalty battle, the turnover battle, and basically the inability to execute the little things, especially with the game on the line. Now, the defense, just like at the end of the Penn State game, got to stop. And they gave the offense the opportunity to go ahead and score a game-winning touchdown. Now, one thing that should be pointed out, and it's been pointed out by other folks, okay, but just so you know, if you missed it, during Friday's game, it became public the freshman defensive back Ronald Delancey entered his name in the transfer portal. He's now the 4th Florida 4-star recruit from Nebraska's 2020 recruiting class that has entered his name in the portal. This happened during the game on Black Friday. You know, something is not right here. And this is the 4th kid from this exact area that's left. And there's been a lot of people who've left, okay? Something's not jiving somewhere, and that needs to be looked into more, okay? I just talked about that because it is news that came out just recently, and it does have an effect on the team as a whole. My final takeaway, I thought the defense played much more physical and frankly well enough to win, okay? In the first half, I'd give them an A for their performance. In the second half, I'd give them a B. Now, in the second half, at times, I thought that got worn down a little bit, okay? But again, they had that stop on Iowa's last series to give Nebraska a chance to score on offense, okay? At times, I was very impressed with how the defense played, at times, okay? Offensively, rotating the quarterbacks on offense, this may not be a popular opinion. In fact, it probably isn't. I don't have a problem with it. You know why? Because nobody stepped up and taken the bull by the horns. How do you roll with one guy when neither guy's clearly the starter? Neither guy's clearly the better guy. Adrian has more experience. He gets the chance with the game on the line to take the team down and score. Luke apparently is more comfortable in the up-tempo offense, which is something that kind of confuses me. Adrian's been here for 3 years, so why is Luke the one who's more comfortable as a redshirt freshman in the up-tempo offense? That's something that confuses me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The team looked better in some areas, okay? Unlike the Illinois game, it looked like we played with a sense of pride. And ultimately, unfortunately, we still found a way to lose. It's the Christmas light thing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. We're definitely more than one bulb away. Okay, is it just that one bulb that's out that'll turn the whole strand on? I don't know. Is it 10? Is it 15? Is it 100? 150? Is it 2? Every week it seems to change. After the Illinois game, it felt like there's 1,000 bulbs we had to screw in. Sometimes you feel like it's one, okay? I think that's kind of what's maddening for Husker fans is where are we, okay? What is realistic for the future? We got to start doing the little things now. There were some positives. There were some negatives. Be passionate, get respectful. Go Big Red, throw the bones. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.